Want to save money on bird toys? We'll try out these DIY ones today. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, Pickles and I are going to tell you about more DIY toys you can make for your birds. These are cheap and easy. If I can make them, you can make them too. And it's really important to vary up your toys with your birds. And if you can save a bit of money in the process by making your own, that's awesome too. I already have 2 other DIY videos with toys. I have a DIY foraging tray video. My partner David, the parrot teacher, also has DIY toy videos too. So there's plenty to look for and it helps to give your birds a variety, enrichment, and of course, most importantly, save some of those pennies as well. So let's dive straight into some of these DIY toys. I will say as a warning, the birds, unsurprisingly, were very noisy during this filming, so you may want to wear headphones if you're watching this around your birds. But without further ado, let's go and get creative. So for our first toy, we are going to make DIY sweet bags. Now these sweet bags are food grade, so you don't have to worry about what's in them. They are in my Amazon store. Because they're food grade, they are made for sweeties. You know that there's going to be no harmful chemicals in there that your bird will come into contact with. And I did get multiple ones. I've got all different kinds of colours, and I thought I'd just show you a couple of examples. They're very simple, like all of these. We're not doing complex toys on this channel. We're doing nice and simple ones that anybody can do. Because if I can do them, you guys can do them too. So we're just going to get our sweet bag. We're going to open it up, and then we're going to fill it with sort of birdie pick and mix. So for this one, the green one, I've got lots of natural toys. So I have got this, which is one of the boys' favourite toys. They really love chewing these and picking the bits off. We've also got some balsa, again a favourite with all of our birds. This cool contraption, and with these ones you can really shove little treats in before you even put them in the sweet bag, and then when your bird does get through to these toys, they can also find some yummies in there. We've got the classic vine star, again another favourite with all of the birds. We've got palm leaf stars, super cute. And these ones, which I got off of Mini Pets, and I think they call them like lanterns, if you can see those there. And these lanterns are just so cool because you can really hide little treats in there. And they're just a bit fun and different. You can kind of thread them to kind of have them hung up in the cage like that. But these are really fun. So we're not going to put treats in today because I'm just showing you how to do it. I will put treats in when I put them in the cage, but we're just going to take all of our little treats, pop them in our sweet bag in no particular order. And this is really fun because you can do these with DIY toy parts as well. Pop them all in there, and then you can fold over the top, and then we're going to make, hopefully, a little hole in there. Be very careful when you're doing this. And then we're going to thread our string through and tie it up, ready to hang in the cage. Now if your bird finds these challenging, you can poke little holes in so they can see the toys and treats in there, but I think they look a bit nicer when they are just all kind of put together like this. So this is something very simple. I'm going to show you the blue one just for fun because blue is my favourite colour. So with the blue one, again opening it up, I have got all of this beautiful blue sort of crinkle paper. So for fun in this one, we're just going to pop some of that into our sweet bag. Love that. And then we've got some finger traps, a massive favourite with the flock. We've got, again, broken toy parts. They're not very pretty, but they are blue, so they're going in. More broken toy parts. These are off of all different kinds of toys. They're just very thin pine. Some beads. We've got some Zumax flowers. They're a favourite here, but these ones are fresh. More finger traps. Of course, the paper straws, we use these in pretty much all of our DIYs because they're such a favourite with the birds. Whoop, this one doesn't want to go in. We have got some birdie bagels, birdie bangles, whatever you call them. That's going to go in too. What else have we got? Some blue lolly sticks. And then finally, a little balsa block as well. And you know what? Just for fun, let's get a little bit more of that crinkle paper to put in the top of this one. That looks quite fun. So again, we're going to put a hole in the back, thread our string through, and there we have 2 DIY sweet bags. And these are lots of fun. I think my birds are going to really like them. Now this next one is really easy, but I wanted to talk about it because of the material. So here we have what's known as a paper pulp pot. These are used in gardening as kind of like a starter for something you plant in the ground. This will biodegrade and then the plant stays in the ground. Now the ones that I have are just paper, like in cardboard and stuff, and water. There's no glue in here, no nasties, it's just paper and water. You could even make your own if you wanted to at home. That would be super easy. But if you are buying any, just make sure it's made out of paper and water and nothing else to make a paper pulp pot. As I said, if you want to do it at home, that's cool too, nice and easy. So with the paper pulp pot, conveniently, they actually come with a little hole in the base, obviously for drainage when you are planting something. So that's going to be how we're going to hang it up. And you can do these in a variety of ways. I'm just showing you one example, super easy. I'd love to see if you make any really creative or advanced creations. I'd love to see that. What we're going to do first is put our paper string in. So I've cut a piece already. I'm going to thread that through the base. I'm going to tie it up down here, just so it stays secure. Like that. And there we go. So it's kind of hung on its little string here, which is nice and fun. And then we're just going to put some nice stuff in. Again, you can put treats in here. You can put whatever you like in here. We're just going to go for some nice, simple crinkle paper. The old classic. We love crinkle paper on the channel. This particular one is from Northern Parrots by Superbird Creations. But as I've mentioned and will mention, we get them from other sources too, because there are other bird safe sources of crinkle paper. And then once we've got all that lovely paper in, again, you probably guessed it, we're going to come back to our favourites, the paper straws. We've got some nice sort of pastel colours, so we're going to put one in here. You could make these as the treat straws like we do, again for extra fun. I'm just not adding treats just for the purposes of this DIY to make it a bit easier. I'm going to put those around the side, one over here as well. And then when you hang it up in the cage, you can just tie it straight to the cage bars, so you don't need any kind of clip or anything. You can just tie it straight on like that. And I think even for a simple toy, I think that's actually really quite fun, quite inviting. It's, you know, eco-friendly because it's these paper pulp pots, no plastic or anything like that. And I think a lot of birds will really enjoy something like this. Next up, we've got a really fun one to do, which is kind of like a movie night inspired toy, which is using basically paper popcorn buckets. So I found these in just like a kind of budget store, homeware store in the UK. I found them in the Range. You may find them in like dollar stores, Poundland, that kind of thing. And because these are made to be eaten out of, they are human grade materials. It's perfectly safe to use with the birds. This is literally just paper. It's not plastic or anything. It's not shiny or squeaky or anything. It's just paper with the design on. So these are fine to use with your birds. A lot of toy manufacturers will actually use these types of things to make toys. You may have seen them on their websites. So we're going to go with these today. We're doing a movie night type thing. Again, it's a really simple version, but you don't have to make it like I did. You can make it more complex if you want to. I'm just giving you inspiration on what to use. So let's make it. So I've already kind of folded down the edges. It makes it a lot easier to put together. And if I can remember, you just kind of fold these in, fold that, there you go. And then you've got yourself a little popcorn bucket. I mean, you get these for yourself. It might be fun for a little movie night. But what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to make the hole to hang it up, because it's a lot easier to do it before you put stuff in. And I could use my scissors, but something that's also very useful is a hole punch. If you have a small hole punch, you can use that to make a little hole in for your string. Oh, just like that. So maybe able to see there is just a little hole there, nice and easy to put the string through. So we can start putting things in. And again, I could go and put loads of toy parts in, but we're going to keep it simple. I have got some more crinkle paper, and I got loads of crinkle paper on sale at Easter. So I've got loads of it stocked up in different colours. So we're going for yellow, because it's kind of popcorn themed. So we're going to get all of this crinkle paper, put it in here. Again, put your treats in there, make it really fun. You can put toy parts in there. You can put more complex foraging in there. I'm making such a mess with this crinkle paper. But it's all for the birds, so it's all good. So we want to make it nice and funky at the top. Of course, we're going to go in with our paper straws. I mean, I really should get some sort of sponsorship, the amount we go on about paper straws these days. But we're going to go in with some paper straws around the edge. Again, fill them with treats if you want to. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. And then, I thought, you know what? As we're going for a movie theme, it would be wrong not to include some bird safe popcorn. So this popcorn here, I just made it in the microwave. I've got some organic popping corn. There's nothing added, there's no oil or salt or sugar, nothing like that. It's just the corn. Super easy to do in the microwave. So that's what I've done, and this is perfectly safe for birds to eat. You don't want to be using microwave popcorn bags. They are toxic to birds because they have a non-stick coating. Please don't do that. If you're going to make it, it needs to be completely plain, not in any artificial packaging or anything like that. You just use a bowl with a plate over the top with a little bit of this in the microwave. It's so easy. So we're going to put some of these on top, just because it is a popcorn themed toy. And of course, you don't want to give all of this popcorn to one bird. We do have, you know, more than one bird in a cage. Of course, if you think that this is too big for your bird, if you think they'll be intimidated, you can cut it in half and use half of it. But I actually really like this. I think this is really fun, and I think my birds are going to like it too. And of course, I've got my string. I'm going to tie a little string at the back. And we're ready to go. And for our final DIY, we have these tiny little espresso paper cups. They are super small, they are just paper again, like everything, they're in my Amazon store. Because we've got some of the bigger cups, but these are more small bird size. I think they're adorable. So we're making like a little bundle of them. Again, we're going back to our trusty hole punch because it makes life so much easier. It's a bit fiddly to do, but you kind of wedge it in there for each hole. Right, so that's all three of them with their little hole in. Now, the next part is quite fiddly, at least it is for me. You want to take some very, very thin string, and you want to kind of thread it through to make them come together as like a little cluster of three. Now, they're not going to sit perfectly straight together because of the nature of putting three things like this together, but it'll be fine. It doesn't need to sit perfectly, you know, flat, because there's going to be one that's going to go like this. You can adjust it when it goes in the cage to make them all kind of go the same size. And we are just going to tie this all together. And thin string does work better with this bit. And when you're tying it together, you want to leave a little bit of space so that you can attach another piece of string to it, so you can hang it in the cage. We have got our little cluster of 3 espresso cups. We are going to need a bit more string, as we mentioned, so that we can tie it onto the cage. And we're going to put that through this hoop that we made here. And it's always best to do that before you start doing your fillings, because it makes it a lot harder once you've already got stuff in there. And then again, as we've already said, you can put whatever you like in there. I've just got the things on hand to show you today. So you can put some treats in here. We like to put our birds' dinner, their dry mix in here, and they love to enjoy it. We're going to go in again with a trusty crinkle paper. Why wouldn't we? And have just a little bit in each one for an example. And we like crinkle paper with lots of colour, but you can use natural looking crinkle paper as well. It's just all part of the fun. And then, you know what I'm going to say, we've got to have paper straws in basically every DIY. So we're going to go in with a little paper straw, or 2 in each. I've got a little friend with them, there we go. Just make the crinkle paper nice and floofy. And we all know all of this is just going to go on the floor the second it goes in with the birds. But Louis, our one-legged conure, he absolutely loves just shredding these cups. They're his favourite thing. So we sometimes just put plain ones in there for him to shred. But this is the finished result. You've got your little cluster of 3. You can hang it to the cage just like this, and your birds can have lots and lots of fun with it. You can even do more if you wanted to all together. You can put stacks of them. But as is, it's a nice, simple and easy toy that anybody can make. So I hope you enjoyed these new DIY toys. Let me know if you make any of them, and if you do, make sure you tag me on socials at BirdNerdSophie, because I would love to see your creations. If you have any other DIY toy ideas, do let me know down in the comments, as I would love to speak to you. But from me and the noisy cheeky birdies, I hope you're having an amazing day. Take care and see you later.